I am McReynolds, an individual diagnosed with autism, which some people describe it as a disability, some describe it as a disorder. I mean, there's all sorts of descriptions that are up for it, including some people saying that if you're an individual with autism, or you're an autistic individual, then you're not normal or whatever. Although I have to say that, you know what, the only thing in this world that really is normal is sitting on a dryer. Okay? Anyways, yeah, when I was like 9 months old, I had said my first word and all that, and then there were, like, of course, you know, some other words I said, but then there was a time, you know, when I'd lost speech. You know, I'm not really sure how long I lost speech for, I just know that it happened. And I used to be able to make myself not hear stuff as well, like if I didn't want to hear anything or whatever, although I don't know how I actually pulled that one off. And I don't remember clearly why I pulled that one off either. I just know it happened that way, you know? Anyways, I mean, I was born in Rochester Hills, which is in Oakland County, one of the counties that surrounds Detroit, and it's classified as suburb of Detroit and all that, so of course there are like numerous areas outside of Detroit city itself that get called Detroit, including like the suburb areas, like my native Rochester Hills. People call that Detroit itself, or something like that, because of it being suburb of Detroit. But there was that brief time when I had lived down in Houston, Texas, back when my dad was among the Michiganians that wound up applying for work in Texas and all that. During that time frame, I was taken to the Methodist Medical Center in Houston. It happens to actually be quite famous. In fact, that place was actually featured on the TV show Walker, Texas Ranger before. But it was at that place where I was diagnosed with autism for the first time ever. The full readout at that time was mild infantile autism. Of course, I understand that some people on the autism spectrum consider the infantile part to be politically incorrect or whatever, you know? But I'm just saying how it was written, okay? So please don't get mad at me or blast me for mentioning the infantile part, because I'm just describing what was wrote down and what was printed down. I mean, I've seen the files that were written about me, okay? I've seen them. I mean, I've seen the files, okay? That's how I know it was printed, because I saw the files, because I've read some of those files, okay? I mean, not everybody's actually read the files that were put down about their disabilities after being diagnosed, but I have read some of those files. Maybe not every file, but I had the pleasure of at least reading some of them, you know? Okay? But anyways, after I was diagnosed, the professionals that diagnosed me, I mean, they basically had me wrote off as a lost cause. Basically, in a way. Well, I don't know if they worded it like that, but what I do know is that they said that I was never going to have full communication language, that I was never going to be able to communicate, I was never going to learn how to ride a bike. I mean, it was as if they were like, give up, whatever, you know, he's a lost cause. There's nothing that can be done. He's a lost cause. You're going to have to deal with it, blah, blah, blah. Whatever, you know? This is the end. It's over. Lost cause. Whatever. Of course, then again, there's some people that'll say, you know, that the disability will go away and all that. In fact, one of my great aunts that died in 2007 had said that I would grow completely out of it or whatever, or something, you know. And that sort of thing. And well, it's like, yeah, you know, some people will think this or that or whatever, you know. But here it is, you know, I'm speaking right now, and guess what? I did learn how to ride a bike, and I've actually rode it even across town lines before and all that. Even across county lines as well. Because I've actually rode my bike far distances to get to a concert. I also did the same to get to a political meeting. I also did the same to do some campaigning as well, because if you can read what's on the t-shirt, I earlier ran for township supervisor. I lost the primaries though, but I got at least 1/3 of the vote. And I am now actually running for village council, and luckily I did get re-elected precinct delegate, but that part was guaranteed. So that's like, yeah, you know. I mean, when it comes to running for offices, you know, it's like, you win some, you lose some, you know? And that sort of thing.